How do you go out and measure space? What time and efforts is that taken to do it? Is there a better way to do it? How can we do it more efficiently? How can we have some fun with it? How can we actually leverage this information? We got this greenhouse. It's a crazy pyramid. We can't get in there. We can't get boom trucks. We can't get equipment in there. We can't get in some of these tight spaces. How can we leverage a drone to capture and help us do an assessment structurally? Can we get a drone in there? Yes. Have I ever done it before? No. There's birds flying around. There's fans going. We ended up strapping a 360 camera on top of just a little Air 2S. She was able to take these images, use it for her assessment, and then dig a little bit deeper with inside of a report. There's a client of ours, there was an unfortunate accident that they had with one of their loading docks. And we need to kind of analyze it for safety. We typically walk the site. We typically take pictures. Is there a way we can do it faster and better? Yes. We go out there. Oh, by the way, we need to assess the lighting. Can we fly at night? Yes. Have I done it before? No. We were able to get out there, fly at night, provide these really cool aerial images to really kind of articulate what's going on in the field, because most people are visual. So what used to take her days, we were able to capture in a single night. I can provide this imagery, I can provide these models, we can extract measurements off of it. It's really cool stuff. So if anybody in here comes to me and says, Eric, can we do this? Probably the initial answer is going to be yes. I might not know how to get to A to B, but I want to figure it out. The reason I can say yes is because of the support I have from my team, but also the support that I have from you guys, our vendors. I definitely appreciate all the things that this community provides, because without it, I wouldn't be able to say yes. Eric Vallejo, I'm with IMEG. You're going to hear a little bit about me. So a little intro on me. I am the Director of Reality Capture and Geospatial Solutions. I got to actually create my own title, which is awesome. But one of the big things that had to be in my title was the word solutions, right? So a little background on me. I've been in the industry since '99. Kind of came up through the surveying world. Anybody know where Hocking College is, the Hocking Hills, Ohio? Sweet. So 2-year technical school. I go down to the school. It's a natural resources school. I wanted to be a park ranger, right? I wanted to walk around in the woods, go camping, hiking, all the things. And the counselor actually talked me out of that profession. He said, everybody wants to do it. You're not going to make any money. It's whatever. You're gonna turn out. So like my mom was with me too, and I'm like, oh man, I made a bad choice. He goes, but we have this new technology program that's out. It's called Geographics. It involved GIS, GPS, mapping, things like that. I got to be outside, got to do things. And I said, heck, whatever, I'll try it. So whoever that counselor is at Hocking College back in 1997 that I met up, thank you wherever you are. Because that really kind of catapulted where I'm at today, right? So I got to get outside. I got to play with that equipment, kind of get in the mapping world, and I loved it. Just being able to map, being able to measure things, being able to be outside and be outdoors. I'm a field guy at heart, right? So land surveying is my passion. Being out, taking measurements, and doing all the things. So slowly after time, got my land surveyorship. I'm still working on the PLS, but some things got in the way. Did the Civil 3D thing, Part 107 certified. We'll do a little bit more storytelling here in a little bit. Fast forward a little bit. I was blessed, right? I was blessed to fall into the company I'm at now. Next year will be 20 years. When I first started with them, I'm just a Civil 3D guru, just a little technician. Ended up developing their standards and stuff like that, but we were an office of 50 people or so. We ended up getting acquired by IMEG, right? So hopefully some of you folks have done some work with us, and hopefully everything's all worked out. But they went into an acquiring, mergers and acquisition kind of thrust back in 2015. So when I was with my company, which was Missman Inc., back in that day, I get thrust in this position. I came up kind of through the Civil 3D world, developed our standards, had a passion for mapping, had a passion for design, had a passion for modeling. I kind of got into that Civil 3D world where I started doing things three-dimensionally. I started, plowing roads through, the side of these surfaces. We were kind of getting into automation with regards to, how we collect data in the field and stuff like that. So we get acquired by IMEG, right? We go from 50 people to 800 people. And it was crazy. I got thrust into this role from being this technician, creating our standards, kind of developing our workflows, being able to take stuff from field to finish, to becoming the director of civil engineering for this firm. It was awesome and scary and terrifying and all the freaking things. So they literally do everything, right? We're 2,400 people right now. We're probably closer to 80 office locations and things like that. But as soon as that happened, I saw opportunity, right? So I kind of joke around. It's like, I'm sure you guys are wondering why I'm all here. The answer is I don't say no. And a lot of it is because I don't say no to opportunity. So when I was able to kind of when my colleagues became kind of in another profession, in another world, for me, that was opportunity to see how I can help them, what we can do, right? So with me surveying, being in the background and kind of creating these 3D models, I really had a passion kind of for how do we capture this data? How do we leverage it? And how can I show this to our MEP structural folks? So this is where we're at now. So they afforded me a ton of opportunity with regards to where I am today, right? So director of civil engineering, now I'm director of reality capture and geospatial solutions, which is, again, kind of a whole nother story there. We're all over the place. So part of our acquisition, we're not the only civil firm that got acquired. I got to tap into more resources. So with those acquisitions, we've had 30 acquisitions since 2015, and some of those were civil survey firms. So we were kind of the big first civil survey firm that got acquired by IMEG. And as that director, any new civil survey acquisition that kind of came along, I got to be able to tap into their resources. I got to introduce them to the new technology. My biggest thing at that time was getting into drones and laser scanning, right? So we're already doing measurements out in the field. How can we do it more efficiently? How can we have some fun with it? And then how can we actually leverage this information to a broader scope? So I was able to tap into those teams nationwide or whatnot, right? So today we have 17 drones and about 20 drone pilots nationwide. And we got 10 scanning teams, and we have 15 different scanners that we utilize, right? So a lot of different tools in the toolbox and all the things. Right, so how do we do something a little bit different, right? So one of the things I always kind of ask folks is, especially architects and even our own folks in-house, right? How do you go out and measure space, right? It's a real simple question. How are you doing that now? There's obviously fees and things that kind of are incorporated, with all that fun stuff, but how are you doing that? What time and efforts is that taking to do it? Is there a better way to do it? Right? Can I show you something? Can we try something? So I was able to kind of come in and leverage some of the technologies that we're already using and kind of prove it and kind of show them what's going on there. So we use everything from 360 cameras, we use Matterports, we use laser scanning, subsurface utility engineering, we use GPR, we use all kinds of fun stuff to kind of capture data, right? So that was another part of it too. Is part of one of the acquisitions is we do utility locating. We can do some underground stuff. We got people that dive underwater. We got underwater drones, all the fun things. So I get to play in that whole big world, right? So one of my passions really is drones. So kind of before like all that big picture stuff that I just showed you, I get a phone call from our vice president of structural. Anybody know what this is? Can anybody tell me? Nope. Okay. All right. So Somebody will get it. All right. So I get a phone call from my VP of structural saying, hey, Edic, his name's Ed. Edic, I got this 40-story building you got it, in Memphis. Can you go out there and scan it? Can you go out there and take your drone out there and figure out, we need to do a structural assessment. We need to do it like tomorrow. Literally hopped on a plane, never done anything like this before, right? What my biggest problem, I can't say no. Yes, I'll do it for you. Went out there, did it. Right? He afforded me that opportunity to go out there and do this and try it and give it a shot. So I did it, right? Terrified, I'm out there by myself, 40-story building. I got all the clearances, everything's good. Anything drone-wise, we're always FAA approved. Everything's under the roof is legit for sure. So I go out there, I do this, kind of did whatever. It was awesome. It was a great experience, right? So then people kind of find out like what I'm doing, all this thing. I get a phone call from our mechanical group. Eric, there's some insulation issues going on with this building. They need some grant money. Is there a solution that we can use with the drones to kind of capture and figure out what's going on up here? I said, yeah, we can use infrared. We can, we got to fly at a certain time of day, do all the things, blah, blah, blah. I actually went out and got certified through ITC, which is a great group. I'm a level 1 thermographer, and I said, yes, we can do this. Right, so we went out, we scanned this building, we helped them get their grant money. It was awesome, right? New experience for me. I didn't say no. Quad cities, so Illinois, Iowa. That's actually my hometown. Rock Island, Illinois, that's where I was born at. So I don't know, there's a bridge going across there. We actually had a huge contract with them. Eric, can we go out there, can we scan and can we drone this bridge that's about to be built? This is already kind of halfway built here. Yes, we can. Right? So moving down the line, right? This is actually another kind of cool little case study here. Our MEP team, we designed this building, right? We designed this building. It's already built. It's actually a public building in somewhere in Iowa. We're getting calls and complaints. Everybody's pointing fingers, architects, contractors, developers. Everybody's cold. It's the chicks, the women have the heaters going on. Everything's bad. It's a mess. Eric, can we use infrared to get out here and figure out if they put insulation in the building or not? Yes, we can. So we went out there. Hey, there's no insulation inside of the side of this building. Oh, my girl Abby out in Madison. This is actually a little greenhouse project. Eric, we got this greenhouse. It's a crazy pyramid. It's in Madison, Wisconsin, old brick. We can't get in there. We can't get boom trucks. We can't get equipment in there. We can't get in some of these tight spaces. How can we leverage a drone inside of this space to capture and help us do an assessment structurally for this particular site? Can we get a drone in there? Yes. Have I ever done it before? No. There's birds flying around. There's fans going. There's all kinds of crazy conditions kind of going on in there. But yeah, I said yes. We'll figure it out. I got plan A, plan B, and plan C. We're gonna show up. I'm gonna go do it. We ended up strapping a 360 camera on top of just a little Air 2S, and that's kind of what you're seeing right here, right? But she was able to take these images, use it for her assessment, and then basically kind of dig a little bit deeper inside of her report. LiDAR. I've never done LiDAR before. Eric, can we map 640 acres, 400 vertical feet of relief? Somewhere out in Montana? Yes, we can. Get the equipment, go out there, get these targets set up, and we do it. And it's awesome. It's amazing. Right? The data turned out great from top to bottom. I think I had like maybe it was like 1500ths of air kind of floating around throughout, but it was perfect and it was exactly what they needed. Right? So, moving on. Eric, we've had some, there's a client of ours, they're in the auto industry. There was an unfortunate accident that they had with one of their loading docks. And we need to kind of analyze it for safety. We typically walk the site, we typically take pictures, things like that. Is there a way we can do it faster and better? Yes. Can we extract measurements from it? Yes. We go out there, we fly the site. Oh, by the way, she's our architectural lighting guru. We need to assess the lighting as well. Can we fly at night? Yes. Have I done it before? No. But we did it. So we were able to provide, get out there, fly at night, provide these really cool aerial images, showing in these exhibits to really kind of articulate what's going on in the field. Because most people, it's right, it's our visual. I'm a visual guy. I suck at reading plans. I suck at it. I can't see flat. I have to go out on the site. I have to see it. I have to feel it. I have to touch it. So get it into night flights for architectural lighting. She was able to, right, what used to take her days to go out and assess these sites, we were able to capture in a single night. And then I could provide her these imagery, I can provide her these models, we can extract measurements off of it. It's really cool stuff. So, our security guide, right? Who's familiar with CEPTED? Anybody? Crime prevention through environmental design. That's a big thing right now. So we got a security guy in-house, Brian Searles, he's the man. He's the man. And honestly, all of my colleagues are awesome. Eric, we need to assess these sites. I'm walking around taking pictures. How do we figure out, I gotta assess the lighting. So kind of a different application, right? So instead of, lighting for safety, now it's lighting for security. So kind of a whole nother level. So with this, we kind of get into some different sites. How do we get out there? How do we capture this? I'm like, I've already done it. But now let's take it to the next level. We're going on to campuses, we're going on to like, federal places and things like that. He's an ex military man. We're doing some really cool stuff on that side of things. But what's the solution here? I said, hey, let's go out there, let's fly some drones. Right? This was an interesting one. Anybody know where this is at? That's probably hard to see. So that's Minneapolis in the background there, right? So we're next to the airport. There's a national park right there. And then this is a federal facility here. So there was like all kinds of different waivers and hoops that I had to jump through. But we did it. I did it. Right? So that led on to, Eric, we got 65 parks in LA County that they want to do security assessments on day and night. Can we do it? Yes. Yes, we can. We had our all hands on deck, flew out to LA, just grinded for about 6 months, flying all these parks day and night, getting the waivers, doing all the things to really gather this information. So that turned into just kind of other things, just kind of barrel rolling into all kinds of fun stuff with regards to reality capture, how we can use it. Now, hey, can we take this imagery? Can we take these photos? Can we do something with it? Yeah. What do you want to do? Well, now we're taking these light readings. I want to create a GIS background map. I want to create a heat map, apply it into GIS, and do all the fun things with it too, so we can analyze. So, of course, my answer is yes, we can do it. So we were able to kind of leverage that data, the drone, in combination with some GPS and some readings on the ground, and kind of put that to the test. So ever evolving, and ever just kind of taking on opportunity and really leveraging that, and being able to kind of provide these solutions. That's just what I do. That's what I am, right? So if anybody in here comes to me and says, Eric, can we do this? My answer is probably, the initial answer is going to be yes. I might not know how to get to A to B, but I want to figure it out, right? So long story short, right? You're wondering why I'm here. It's because it's a lot of support that, right? I didn't do this on my own. I had people that were able to trust in me and believe in me. But honestly, before everything I did, or after I said yes, let's go there, before I actually went out in the field, I was making phone calls, right? There's people in this room that I made phone calls to say, hey, have you done this before? Have you been there before? Has anybody ever tried this before? How did it work? Right? So what it comes down to is, the reason I can say yes is because of the support I have from my team, the support I have from my management team, but also the support that I have from you guys, our vendors, and all the fun things. So I definitely appreciate all the things that this community provides, because without it, right, I wouldn't be able to say yes. Let's go there. So thank you, Eric Vallejo. Peace out.